All of my exes live in Texas.
That's why I'm here in New York with Velvet.
Yes, indeed. We got Texas and we got Rochester.
/ Paris.
/ Paris. I am here with the Vivienne Rose.
Oui.
And my battery is... I'm here with the Vivienne Rose.
Yes,
she is a dominatrix and... Sorry?
By night.
By night. By day, she is a pharmacist. No.
Plus size model.
But yes, she's a plus size model as well as a dom, a goddess, a mistress, and empress. Those are the titles that she carries.
So many hats.
She carries a very large derriere, which we just photographed plentifully for a wonderful photo shoot that I really enjoyed. You've known me since 2016. So we've talked on and off since then.
Yeah.
So it was such a treat to finally meet you.
That time.
After all these years and work with you and shoot your beautiful self. Very good model, very fun person, very kind person, intelligent, well-traveled. These are the things that you might not know about your local dominatrix. So I thought it might be interesting to find out some of the secrets of being a supersize. Is that what you can say? Is it wrong to say that?
It doesn't bother
Or
me.
an infinity dominatrix
It's like
person?
saying the sheet is white.
I know, we have two eyes. So, what drove you to decide to try to do dom work?
I think initially it started with just a request from a fan if I would consider doing that. And I said, sure. I've never done it, but I'd like to try it. And
Is that your spirit in life?
try it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have my immorals and integrity and, concerns about image and such too, but it seemed too fun.
Battery exhaust. Such a pretty, such a pretty me. Such a pretty me. Okay.
Such a pretty bird.
We are here with the Vivienne Rose. The Vivienne Rose.
Sweet.
I have known Vivienne Rose from afar for many years. So we had started to discuss what drove you into the industry of dominatrixing. And the reality was someone had asked you who was a fan of yours.
Yes.
Now, what are other things that your fans could ask you that you might consider?
It has all been in the range of just using my weight to dominate, to just see what my body can do. And it's simplistic and complex all in the same. I'm basically,
mentally or physically, or both?
Because there's something to a beautiful, sweet-smelling girl sitting on you and you can't go anywhere, even if you tried.
Have you ever wanted to do that yourself? Like have someone sit upon your face?
No,
Not at all.
I can't stand it.
Really? You didn't try, but the thought of it. Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
And it was not fun.
Oh, it was awful.
But with you, it's very fun. I mean, everybody, there's people who need to be on top and there's people who need to be below.
Exactly.
And you're clearly the one that needs to be on top.
Life has tops, life has bottoms.
There you go. So did you have any reservations the first time? Had you met that fan previously or no?
I hadn't met him, but he had worked with someone else I knew. Who had reached out to me, and I trusted him immediately.
Did you ask other friends who had done that sort of thing, like what their thoughts were, or do any research?
I'd kind of heard word about it, and I had just looked at some stuff online. And, worst case scenario, I just overthought it and thought, really, is that all we're doing? Is that all they're doing?
Worst case scenario, you kill the person underneath you and you spend your life in prison. That's my thought on it.
There's that.
Subtle negative thinking on my part. I watch way too much crime TV. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I murder you? Forgive me.
Oops. Whoopsie.
Whoopsie
I told you not to die. This is
Exactly.
an inconvenience.
But you were saying that couldn't occur because they have symbols and they say to you, stop killing me.
They do. That's exactly what they say.
That's wonderful. And you can't hear them, so you kill them anyway.
What?
What'd you say? Speak up.
There is a range of ignoring as well.
Oh my
Like, I'm going to
gosh.
tap if I want you to get up, but please ignore it. At least first couple times. And then if they tap really hard, like...
There's
I
like
really
a
mean
whole
it.
psychology behind it. Wow, that is so interesting.
That's the control.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would you say if there was a young woman or an old woman or a man and a woman and a woman and a man and a transgender person who wanted to be a dom? What would be the 3 pieces of advice you would give to them?
Go into it willing to listen to your seat. Go into it proud of your body and willing to see what it can do. And love every minute. Know your boundaries. Know your boundaries.
Yeah.
And honor them.
And do you set boundaries with your clients? Like, what does everything look like? So how does someone find you, for example?
So mostly through Twitter. Instagram, I advertise that I'm in a city, but I don't say what I do.
They probably think you're baking cookies in that city.
Totally. This is why I let people
Is she
know.
in this
come eat
town
my
making
cookies.
brownies already?
More brownies in New York.
Rochester.
And then there's a website. There's like Session Girls. There's Tryst.
Oh, that's such a neat name, Tryst. How fun!
Yeah.
Like you're having a tryst. So if someone wanted to do it, they'd say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Tryst or whatever. Or I'm going to find the Valerie or the Vivienne Rose in Twitter."
It starts with wanting a particular something.
Okay.
And usually they've seen a number of videos online.
Okay.
They're very curious about it. And that's one of the first things I always ask. Have you done it before? Mm-hmm. What have you seen? If you're new to it, send me some clips that you've liked online.
Oh, that's smart.
I love seeing that because, for one, there's such an array of
Different dominant things.
acts
Yeah, for sure.
and types of domination and what it is you want from it. Some it's really just sitting there and not getting up and ignoring them.
Okay.
Some it's like one of them said, I've done this 5 times and I finally feel like I wanted to feel. And there is something neurologically to the compression of the weight on your nerves. And it calms
On their
anxiety.
face or where are you sitting?
On their body in
Their
general.
whole body. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there more face requests or where do you ask to be crushed most, I guess?
Well, for the average person, it's all about the butt,
In the butt.
being
What's
in
that
the
song?
face, or
Okay.
worship. Just
What is worship?
worship can range from sitting there and being beat up by the booty, like you're sitting against the bed and I'm wiggling the booty in your
okay.
face and smacking it back and
Oh,
forth.
interesting. Okay.
Or I hand you a bottle of baby oil and you rub and
Well, that
you
would be
worship,
fun.
like the belly, the size,
Okay.
feel the weight.
So you get moisturizing for free.
Absolutely. I always have baby oil on me.
Oh, that's so cool. All right. So the first thing they would do is they would go to, let's say, Twitter. And then what's their next step?
So if they're on Twitter and they're searching like hashtags, or they go online and
What
they
are the
search it.
hashtags? Is it hashtag the Vivienne Rose, hashtag
Well, there are
I'm a
things
goddess?
like the face sitting, smothering,
Okay.
squashing,
Okay. All the S's.
all the S's. Fetish, booty fetish, fat fetish.
Okay.
SSBBW.
Okay. So you would put all those hashtags on any post that you do, for
I
example.
don't generally do too many
Oh.
hashtags, but it ultimately ends up leading to
For sure.
your girls that you end up liking and wanting to work with.
And are there, like, let's say in America, a top 3 to 5 face sitters that are supersized or plus size that are like known, that are like, oh, these are the
so
women.
Amazon Amanda, as far as
Amazon
my
Amanda.
experience goes,
Yes.
Amazon Amanda is very well known.
Okay.
And she's doing
quite a
it for-
tall girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
I remember her.
Yeah.
Wow, she's been doing that forever. I remember her
20-something
super,
years.
super tall chick.
She's my cousin.
No, liar.
No, for real.
Is she from Texas?
Nope. She's from
Come
Idaho, but she's like
Get
a distant
out.
cousin.
That is crazy. So did she give you advice on how to do all this?
Yeah, actually, we've worked together,
No way.
and
Is she
I'll
a
ask
basketball
questions.
player at heart? Because her girlfriend is big.
She's
She's
a wrestler at heart.
a wrestler. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, awesome.
She used to do sumo wrestling. She's
No
good
way.
at Japan.
Sumo. Get out. Dude, those people have quads of steel.
Yeah, she had very strong legs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, all right. So she's the number one known Dommy type
In my
gal.
opinion, yeah, and she works
'Cause
with
it's her cousin.
Goddess Gia.
Well, that's a
and
pretty
Goddess Gia is
name.
very, very tall too,
Okay.
and they are traveling around right now.
Well, how fun.
Yeah.
And have you considered traveling with someone else, just like a bestie,
have.
or you have? Okay.
Yeah, I've traveled with Amanda.
Amanda,
Yeah.
that's your cousin. Oh, fun. Okay. Is it more fun to travel, and does that mean that you do whatever together, or do you just like you're both in the hotel and like?
Nope, we do a session together if they want to book us together, or we do our own separate stuff.
Is it ever fun, like that you start laughing and you like are not allowed to?
We just have
You know, like
fun
when you're in
and-
an elevator, you're like, or
We
not?
have fun and forget they're there.
Oh my gosh, how
And,
fun!
and I think that they love that too.
For
It adds
sure.
to the excitement of we make songs up, we're bouncing on them and then
Oh my
getting off,
gosh,
pulling
how
each other up
fun.
and down.
That is funny.
It's so much fun.
Um.
It's like having a trampoline toy.
So once they find the hashtag face sitting whatever, then like they write you on Twitter.
So some have messaged me on Twitter, some have messaged on Instagram, but I always direct
And they're
them to
like,
my
"Dear
email.
Vivienne, blah blah blah. Oh, please email me." So then you get the email. Hi, I'm Joe Schmo, and I want to be smothered by you. And then what happens after that?
I tell them, well, hello, Joe Schmo. Have you done this before? What are you looking for in a session? Tell me what it is. If you've never done it before, what drew you to it? What are you curious about?
That's cool.
They tell me a little bit, and then I probe a little bit more because there's so much to it. And
Yeah.
it can be an anxiety relief. It can be ignoring. It can be submission. It can be humiliation. It can be a wrestling thing.
Wow.
It can be subtle and suggestive, like you just want a beautiful woman to exercise control, but you're really still very much like a dominant male or a switch. It runs the gamut for what it is for them.
I think
Some
it's cool that you ask specific questions because it sounds like you really want to make your client's experience as great as it can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like quality, kind of.
Well, it helps me know what to do, even if they don't know what they want. If they say something like, absolutely no sitting on my chest, it will freak me out. Or, I'm not really a face sitting guy. Because if you go into that session and you do that and it's not something they like, then they're laying there like...
Right. Oh, totally. Yeah. So, what are the top, like, what are the challenges? Name 3 challenges and 3 glorious benefits.
Challenges is the travel, getting people to confirm, getting people to not waste your time and set up the session,
Ugh, that's irritating. Yes.
and to make that deposit so that you can make your plans for your travel schedule.
Oh, that's right. So that's actually a good point because maybe some people who want to have this happen don't really understand that you're probably needing multiple people in a city to make it worth your while to get there.
And if you would just confirm, then I can make the city on my list.
Totally.
Or, if you get there, like when I got to Philly this trip, everyone in Philly canceled.
Oh, no. So
And-
do you hold a deposit, like a non-refundable deposit?
Yep.
That's a smart
have
thing.
to.
Yeah, you have to.
But the thing is
it's still frustrating as heck.
you're still just using that deposit to pay for the room.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
Dude, that's super hard. So that's one thing that if you wanted to tell clients that would be a pet peeve not to do would be to book a session and cancel it.
The well-trained ones know. They're
Yeah.
like, I know not to waste your time, goddess. Tell me when you'll be here. Let's pick a date, and I'm deposit ready.
Okay, deposit ready.
And
Okay.
when you send me a detailed email and you tell me what you enjoy, I love it.
For sure.
And what can I bring you?
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
So that's like the benefit of it is you have like wish lists, and that they can get you stuff too, right?
Yeah, I created an Amazon wish list, and you can get me things that I can wear while I'm smushing you.
Is that what you mainly ask for?
Lingerie, I've asked for assorted stuff, like things for shoots, things that they'd like to see me in.
I think a really intelligent thing to ask for would be shoots and corsets from Rosy Red Corsetry.
Oh, yes. If only those were on Amazon.
Travel to the Maldives. Make a calendar. They should pay for me to make a calendar of you in the Maldives.
Ooh,
That would be a
yes.
great ask. We need to put that on Amazon.
All right, we're putting it in the universe.
Right? Totally. Manifestation. So what made you, I guess, move towards this as a career?
Everything fell into place.
So it's like life telling you to do it.
I think so. Yeah.
And you've been doing it for 3 years now?
Since 2018.
And you travel nationally for the most part, but you are open
Yeah.
to international
Oh,
travel.
absolutely. I've had plenty of inquiries for international. It's just that's not where I'm at yet.
Okay.
Just in plans.
But if someone were to say, we have 20 people in Italy, the main thing is the accommodation, for your capacity to move around or whatever. So if they made it worth your while with like cars and everything else,
Yes.
then it would make sense. Yeah.
In general, I think that that's been the primary deterrent is, I've been to Europe and I know how small everything
Exactly.
is,
Yeah,
and I've
for
only
sure.
gotten bigger since the last time I went.
For sure.
So I wouldn't be comfortable
Yeah.
anyways.
But I think that that's really just research. I think you should
Yeah.
let your European audience have their way with you.
Yeah.
Because it's really just a matter of like understanding, like if I go to this hotel, there's this kind of whatever and just, and include whatever is necessary for accommodation,
Yeah.
If
Yeah, and
they-
I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
But for now, the way that I've been traveling, I go around and I say I'm going to be in this city, and they see that I'm going to be in their city and they book. The alternative is, Goddess, I would like to book you in London. What is the fee? And so I would
Okay.
give them the session fee plus travel
For
expenses.
sure.
And I just haven't priced all that out. I mean, I know how much it would be. It's just
Yeah.
going there for one thing and,
God
coming right
forbid they
back.
would cancel after that too.
See, yeah, there's much more risk in that.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, if they pay for everything, then it's a fun
Yeah.
risk,
true.
Because then if you got your hotel cared for, you just go to look at museums and have fun. Come see me in Paris. So if there were a girl who was interested in becoming a dom, what would you suggest to her to do? Or him or whoever?
I would say, use the internet. And then, find a couple of friends who do this too and have coffee with them.
Maybe team up for your first sessions or something?
Do doubles with them. Yeah.
How do you deal with safety?
Safety wise, I mean, I have my process. We all have our own ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because that's probably the one thing that people, when they consider sex work, or not even sex work, but, I guess dom work, or, meeting with people you're not sure of in a hotel or wherever you meet, then, their fear factor of like what could possibly happen. But you vet people in a certain way where they can't, and you also have like a good intuition probably.
I do.
Yeah.
Very well developed intuition. Yeah.
Cool.
When I've ignored it is when I've had the negative experience.
I'm sure. But you've always gotten out of them, thank God,
Yes.
So, how does modeling as a photographic model come into play with doming? Like, is there any correlation between the two?
No. I started that. And I think that the reason the dom stuff came along is because it was part of my journey, part of understanding my abilities, my dimensions, literally and figuratively, exploring part of myself and just getting more confident in the skin I'm in.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what are your limitations, things that you do not do?
Humiliation, true humiliation.
But isn't that like a big request?
Well, there's a difference between, oh, look at you. You have this little bitty 450-pound goddess on you and you can't get up. You look like such a big, strong, manly man. There's a difference between that and eat my shit and lick my floor, motherfucker.
That's true. And why do you have that limitation? Like, why do you choose to not do that?
Do it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have to have some authenticity in it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. And race play.
Yeah, that's awful. Oof, I can't even
gets
imagine that exists.
So requested.
Ugh.
It gets heavily requested, and
That's
I
weird.
morally, emotionally, just can't.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've played just a little bit with one particular sub, and it's amusing more than anything. It's more just mostly ignoring him. But you play on a couple of just very base stereotypes.
Texas, take 978. We run through the batteries.
We do. Our energy
Much
is
like
just vibing
a man's face runs through your ass upon sitting on it.
repeatedly.
All right.
You know what's so fun?
What?
So there are little things in the experience. And say, for example, one of the favorite positions of the ones watching it later and the ones receiving it is, say, for example, on the floor, their head against the bed, and I stand in front of them and I'm kind of booty beating them, and then I'm coming in, pulling out, coming in, pulling out. And they don't realize this, I think, but it's like it magnetizes. They're doing this. They're like in a trance.
Cool.
They don't even know it. It's so fun.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Did it take you a while to learn all those little tricks and little activities? Or did your cousin show you?
She told me a thing or two. Mostly it's about like what we should accept.
Okay.
Yeah. And what we should say no to. But it was me figuring it out. I would ask them to tell me what they want, and then we try it together if I've never done it before. Or I say, tell me more about what you like about that. Or send me the link.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And then you watch the link, and you learn from it. She, of course, has her own style, and I'll have my own. But you learn some phrases.
What is your style? Your dom style?
Sensual, playful, but you're not going anywhere if I decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the psychology behind dominatrix work, in your opinion?
For my side or theirs?
Both.
I'd say that runs the gamut too. Because, a lot of sex workers, have daddy issues. Other sex workers are very confident, happy females who found it to be a great way to accommodate a schedule.
Yeah, empowering too. Yeah.
Some it's empowering. Some it's just fun.
Which one are you?
I am fun and empowering. And then it's kind of a great outlet to take out my frustration for all the dick pics that you send.
Are you offended by dick pics?
So, when I was growing up, I had this cat, Russell. And Russell would bring us dead birds, lizards,
Oh my god, mice.
squirrels, mice.
Awful.
And he'd leave them on the front.
Yeah,
doormat
our stoop.
as a
I
gift.
cat too, yeah.
It's the equivalent of receiving a dick pic. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
Even if it's a beautiful dick, I mean, it's just a picture. It's exhibitionism. You didn't ask my permission.
Yeah.
You effectively put it in my face.
Yeah.
Time to punish you.
Do you, in terms of your own sexuality, and you don't have to answer this if you choose to, like, do you find the psychology behind domination attractive as in your own sexuality?
Let me figure out how to answer that question, what that means.
Yeah, it was a really
Because
confusing question.
I think doing the dom work has made me use more of my voice in my own personal sex. So it's now become more of a switch thing. Whereas I was submissive before. But I think I was largely submissive only because I didn't know what to do and what I wanted.
Yeah, I see. That's
Yeah.
cool. So that is really empowering to have explored that
I
through your
discovered
work.
my orgasm.
That's
that way.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm not a whole. I'm an active participant now.
Yeah, totally.
And I get to orgasm.
That's a huge benefit.
Yes, it is.
And also travel, because you're basically, can you say like, oh, I've always wanted to see this museum in San Antonio, so I'm going to make it,
Yeah.
travel there and see what I get.
1-2 combo.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Where is the favorite, where do your favorite submissive boy, women, whatever's they are, where do they all reside? Like at your favorite city where you go and every time it's like amazing, your clients are amazing. New York City. Oh, how fun.
That's where it's at.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I have some favorites in other places, but like Charlotte, Boston, a couple other places, but
Do you
by
do
number.
Canada?
I have
Like
just
Toronto?
done Toronto.
Oh, neat.
In January, I'm going to Seattle for a convention.
Fun.
And I'm going to go up to Vancouver. So,
Oh, that'll be cool. I heard Vancouver's beautiful.
and in Vancouver, I'm going to delve a little bit more into the much more dommy and much more mean in a way. Yeah.
That's very cool. I've not been to Vancouver, but I heard it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's beautiful. I've been there before.
And is there a town that you're just like not thrilled to go to, but it's work and you go?
Any town where I don't get business.
Well, for sure, yeah.
Like fucking Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Get all
I
these
would have thought
emails.
Atlanta would love y'all.
And all these emails. Guys, when are you coming to Atlanta? Please come to Atlanta. 10, 15 people email you and then you're there and it's like crickets.
Oh, man.
And it happens to a lot of us.
That sucks.
It's very hit or miss.
I wonder, what do you think is behind them, canceling?
Maybe they just do it more on the mood and a whim.
Yeah, they're horny. They think about it. They're like, oh my God, I'm totally going to do
They're not
this.
immediately available.
And then they're like, oh gosh, I'm going to mow my lawn today.
Yeah. Which I get, because trying to have a conversation about what you're willing to do in the bedroom while you're thinking about your homework, as opposed to when you're in the mood.
Totally.
You've had a couple glasses of wine and it's like, yeah, I'd totally love to try pegging.
Now, do you like to have a glass of wine? And if so, what is your favorite wine or drink to get you in the mood?
Well, it has. So I'd say that it's changed a lot. I'm a dirty martini girl now.
Okay.
Dirty vodka martini when I'm karaokeing.
How fun.
But I love
Dirty Martini was our
wine.
first burlesque girl on the cover, and you like burlesque, interestingly
I do.
enough.
I love it.
Have you a favorite burlesque performer?
I don't know enough of them. I mean, everybody knows Dita.
Yeah, Dita's amazing. Totally amazing. And would you have liked to do burlesque?
Yes, I would love to.
And what would your burlesque name be? Would you keep
Shoot,
the Vivienne Rose?
Rose.
Yeah, that still
It's
works,
very
right?
burlesque-y.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, that's very cool. There is something really beautiful about burlesque. That's just really
bows
fun.
and corsets. And
Yeah, totally.
it's like ultra feminine,
Yeah, very much
but
so.
also like
Yeah,
in
powerful at the
control
same
and
time, for
powerful.
sure.
sensual, but not submissive,
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
teasing and tantalizing.
And you also have a little hidden talent, which we call singing. So we've been having a little fun singing ourselves.
Yes.
So if you were to not be doing dom work, or if you were to, do what you wanted to do the most, and you could sing, what would, I guess, what's missing for you to do that? Do you want to like find a vocal coach? Do you want to like lay tracks down in a studio? Do you want to like, if there's a guy who could like grant your ultimate wish, would you want like studio time? Would you want like a permanent like teacher? Like, who are your music influences and what holds you back from doing the singing professionally?
Well, I've loved it all my life, and I've used it in some form, like church choir or school choir. I never developed the confidence in it, and it is still the most vulnerable thing. But the thing that I love so much that I still keep going up on the karaoke stage, even though my heart falls into my stomach. And I've gotten progressively better by just telling myself, look, you're still going up there, and you know you sang much better when you were in the shower. So you might as well just give them what you know you can do. So
Totally.
I would say a vocal coach. Guidance in what outlets are available to do it. And somewhere that is intimate and personal and a small audience, but steady.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's super fun.
Because it's much more real.
Yeah.
I don't need the Gaga stage, you know.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not even that type
Like
of
an
singer.
intimate, jazzy kind of flavor.
Like 20 people, and you know, it's the same 15 people that come in, and
Super
5 new
cool.
ones every week.
Yeah. That's amazing. What are 3 things that people would never guess about you?
Well, I guess if they hear that I do dom work and they assume that it's the only thing I do and know, there'll be a lot of things. I was a nerd growing up. I play saxophone and love it.
That's super fun.
I worked in oil. I have a degree in education.
Very
Certified
cool.
English teacher. Never had daddy issues because I had 2 amazing dads.
Aww.
My dad and my stepdad.
Super cool.
Had a very good childhood. I consider myself intellectual. And I'm travel obsessed.
Totally.
Yeah.
What's your favorite book?
Do I have to pick a favorite?
Okay, top 5.
I change the type of books I like, but Fountainhead for some reason was just a really, really good book to me. I loved reading it. I love reading, period. I spent the first half of my life reading books, hundreds of books.
Awesome.
And then I started deciding I wanted to live life.
Yeah. Where do you
So-
like to read when you read? Do you read like in the bathtub, on your bed, at a park?
When I was younger, it was anywhere. I would literally just sit anywhere and just consume the book and get lost in the world. I was #1 Stephen King fan.
Scary.
And I think that he gave me the richness in writing and speaking, because his writing is very descriptive and it takes you to the scene. So that, Alchemist, I like Paulo Coelho.
Yeah, amazing.
I just love how he just ties everything in. I like Rumi and Neruda. It's a lot of different things. I've read Indian books, I've read French books, I've read classics, I've read new stuff.
If you were to write a book describing your dom career, what would the title be?
I don't think it would be only about my dom stuff. It would probably be some sort of play on words, like on top of the world or something like that.
Ah, that's cool.
The world wide.
Yeah, that I can see the cover already. You spent some time in India. What are your favorite things about India? If someone were to travel to India or Sri Lanka, where would you suggest they go? What would you suggest they do?
I started in Delhi, and so I think that you need to see the big city, but you also need to go to the off the beaten path sites, because those are the most beautiful and unspoiled, in the Himalayas, in a remote valley, somewhere in the Mandi region. Exploring like the Ajanta and Ellora caves that are ancient and fascinating.
Mm.
Go to cities like Mysore, and then go from like Delhi to like Tamil Nadu, where the contrast is different. This is more like big city, mountain town up in the north, and then down here is like tropical, and
Oh, nice.
Kerala is very beautiful. It's God's own country. It's very green and lush, and there's just so many worlds in one.
What's your favorite Indian food?
Biryani, maybe.
I like a good
very
korma.
flavorful rice. I like korma.
And do you cook well?
Yes.
What are you known for as far as your cooking?
Well, I'm known for my cupcakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you do the pretty like icing on them? Is that
Like
what?
the gum pastes and stuff like that.
Can you make flowers on top, like the
can.
rose ones? I think those are so
I just
cute.
don't personally love them. If you want them for the aesthetics, yeah, they're great. But
Yeah.
I don't think that they're that flavorful.
You mean when they do the buttermilk icing and that's decorative, or just
Well,
the
the flowers are gum paste. They're marzipan.
Oh, I don't
And
like
I don't
that.
find that
I
those
like
are as
no, but I
flavorful.
mean like some people with the
With the
frosting,
piping?
yeah, the piping, they can actually make
Yeah.
a rose, which
And
is
that I
so
like.
impressive. I love that. I
love
mean, I
doing
never know
that.
how to do it ever, but I love the concept of eating it immediately, and I love how pretty it looks.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Have you any pets?
I do not currently have any pets, but that's kind of because I'm in transition vagabond gypsy mode.
Yeah, it's hard if you're traveling around in a car. Yeah,
But I did have a dog for 17 years.
wow, I had a cat for 17.
She was 17 when she passed. Yeah, she's
honey.
my ride or die.
What was her name?
Katie.
How cute.
She was a blonde pit lab mix.
Oh my god,
And
how
she was
cute.
super soft.
Oh, sweet, sweet thing.
And she died like a week before my mom did.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
awful.
If you want to understand just how much a dog absorbs of your emotions and your stress, have something very significant happen a week after you lose her.
Oh my god, totally.
It's like you feel everything raw.
Totally. All right, so let's close it out with anything that you feel you want to share with your public.
Am I speaking to my Dom public? Am I speaking to the general public?
I think you can speak to all publics.
I think that it is important that you're not afraid to explore anything that interests you. You will find far more judgment if you're in a world of people where you surround yourself with people who think they know what you should be.
Do you get judgment for being a dom?
I surround myself with people who embrace it, who who aren't afraid to try things. They may not necessarily be doms or sex workers in any way, but I found the more authentic I was of myself, the more the right crowd surrounded me.
Totally. And that's actually a good point. Has doming made you more confident in your body?
Absolutely. It's made me more confident around men. It's made me more confident in relationships and interactions with men.
Are your customers always men, or do you have female customers?
I'm welcome to females, but females just don't tend to do it as much.
And trans?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I've done that. That gets more specific and more intellectual.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
cool.
then sometimes I did one session that was very interesting where they sat behind me and effectively my body was theirs.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, and I talked about it, like just imagine we're walking down the hall and the walls are shaking. Because there's people who want to be out of their own
Giants
bodies.
or whatever. Yeah.
Different than what their own bodies are.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very interesting.
That's super
And
interesting.
if you're open-minded, you can find, just a whole lot about a person. I love the honesty. I love that these people are vulnerable and not afraid to share their secrets with me. And they
Yeah,
trust me
that's
with that.
important for sure.
really something that I'm grateful for and that I honor.
Yeah, definitely. And do
love
people tip DOMs?
The ones that are more experienced, no to tip.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's a service. It's like when you get your hair done. So was there a certain percentage that is customary to be tipping a DOM?
I don't think that there's a percentage, no.
100%.
Yeah, someone will hand you $100.
Okay.
Someone will say, "What do you want for dinner tonight? I'll cash app you,
Oh, that's lovely.
$150 for,
Yeah.
steak tonight or something."
So, I mean, do you perceive that it's kind of not kosher to not tip, or what's your
No,
thought?
not at all.
It doesn't speak to your service or whatever. It's like whatever. Some people don't. Some people
I
don't.
think that you see an array of types. Like, not everybody can afford that.
Yeah.
Some are scraping everything together to do what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
And they'll bring
Is
you
it
breakfast
expensive,
and-
or is there like a range? It's like, how you can go and get your hair did and you can do 100 different things. Is there like, oh, I really want to have this experience with a Dom, but I don't have a lot of money, so I should do blah, blah, blah? Like, what's a less costly and a more costly, or is it just like across the board, like
It's
hourly
across the
fee?
board. I mean, there are some women, like myself, I can charge more because I'm better known. There are some that are
And you have assets.
I have assets.
Your asset is 80 inches, 84 inches of asset. Just for people wondering.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
it
there's
is
no-
it is something that fortunately does set me apart.
Absolutely, yeah. It makes you different, and for sure. And it's like the time of the booty. Like we're in the age of the booty, so you have the booty. So
This is
more
true.
power to
We're in the
you.
booty era.
We are. We're in the booty era for real. And I'm happy that you're able to profit off of that. More power to you.
Yeah.
Do you get judgment for being a sex worker?
I think the people who would judge me don't know.
That's kind of true, right?
Yeah.
I know it's like those people who like, there's like some teacher and they're like, oh my God, we saw her in OnlyFans. And it's like, well, bitch, what are you looking in OnlyFans? Like, that's what I can't stand, that sense of
See?
hypocrisy.
Yeah.
They're like, they report
Why were you
like, oh
doing
my
that?
God, Miss Jones was in OnlyFans. And it's like, well, you were looking at OnlyFans. That's how you know. So stop with the judgment. Like, seriously.
I think that's the frustrating part, though. There's that association. You can be so many other things, I mean, I've had so many different hats in life and done so many different things and been loved, by family members and things like that. And they've always thought I was a good Southern girl. But, someone might find that I do this now and suddenly change their whole image of me.
You're still a good Southern girl.
When
You're just a bad good Southern girl.
confident good Southern girl. Or like, just my Instagram. I started my Instagram to build confidence and to share with others my journey and maybe take some steps for them so that they don't have to. And to...
Do you have more female or male followers on your Instagram?
Male.
Okay.
And I think it's always been because of the butt.
For sure, for sure. Did you have, like, when you were little, did people bug you about your body or not really?
Oh, I mean, the first half of my life, I was apologizing for my existence.
Oh,
Because my
but did
fat
you
was my
get,
fault.
because you have a big booty, like how girls who have big breasts, like, they're constantly sexualized from a super early
yes.
age. Was it the same for you as a kid, having a big butt?
My booty, like, it was poofy, but, I had size C boobs by 5th grade.
Oh, boobs were more the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the butt was later.
Secondary.
Yeah.
Now firstary.
Yes, now it is the primary.
Right?
Ugh.
Awesome. Well, it's been super fun to talk to you and to learn your secrets of how and why, the psychology behind being a dominatrix, a goddess, an empress.
And also a fine art model.
And also a fine art idol and a singer.
Body positive advocate.
Yes, definitely. Well, we always appreciate that. Yeah. So, I mean, if anybody wants to find you, it's the Vivienne Rose on Instagram and on Twitter. And
Twitter is BBW Vivienne Rose.
Oh, I'm sorry. Twitter is BBW
Vivienne Rose.
VIVIENNEROSE.
Correct.
Awesome.
And my email is bbwviviennerose@gmail.com.
You heard it here.
You did.
Thank you for sharing your secrets. We appreciate it. And we
you
wish
for
you all
your
the
time.
best.